Hello and welcome to Sega News Bits. I'm Barry, and we're going to be talking about my favorite topic, the upcoming Sonic movie. Yes! So, a new poster has been revealed, and this is kind of strange because the original one was a motion poster. It was showed off, we saw it just about on every major movie and game site. They had high-res images of it. And then, not too long after, another poster appeared, this time in theaters, and I don't believe we've seen this digitally. There's no online version or anything, and this one's really weird. So if you haven't seen it, here's what it looks like. It's a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge. Sonic the Hedgehog's been running all over the place, or at least I think this is Sonic. I mean, maybe it's... I think it's an imposter. I don't think this is the real Sonic. And then he ran up. He sat on the top of the Golden Gate Bridge, and then he wrote in a very strange perspective. It doesn't really work with the photo. Sonic was here. I think Sonic can spell, so the W-U-Z is kind of strange. I don't know if he scratched it into some rust or something. That's kind of strange. We get a very good look at his hairy blue legs. He's not wearing socks. I'm sure they did a focus group, and it told them that youth of today do not wear socks. He's wearing those shoes that they've talked about. The creators of the movie said they looked at every iteration of Sonic's shoes, and they decided on something that really reflects all those. So you can look at that. It's a red shoe. It's a very boring looking red shoe with white laces, and he has a small ring on them for no reason. The white stripes are not there at all. And, this is what they came up with when they looked at Sonic's shoes throughout the past 25 plus years. So, good on them. That's really creative. And his legs look kind of strange. There's been some fan art out there showing Sonic with really wide hips so that this would actually work. And he's the Flash. He has lightning on him. And so, it's a whole new speed of hero. This is Sonic the Hedgehog. And there's some other stuff out there too. What I found most interesting was this leaked early poster art. Some people have been saying, oh, this is our first real look at what the character is going to look like. I disagree. As you can see here, it has Chris Pratt as Tom. Photoshop wise, it's competently done, but it's very clear that they didn't have Chris Pratt actually on as actual cast member. So they took this weird Photoshop CG hybrid of his face. He looks, it looks like him, but obviously it's not a real photo of him. And then they've got Sonic up there with his feet on Chris Pratt's head, and they're hanging out on the car there, and they're really pushing the friendship, fast friends. Because, Sonic's best friend has always been Tom the Cop, not Tails or anything. This design does not really match what we've been seeing in that original teaser poster, which leads me to believe that this is either an early concept or a marketing department made this up just so they could give an idea of what the posters could look like. You can see here the shoes are actually, oddly enough, closer to Sonic's original shoe, yet they're really afraid to do the white stripe the correct way. And on the bottom of his shoes, there's the checkerboard pattern and this these three arrows, which, kind of remind me of those boost pads or whatever. Oddly enough, that's the most Sonic-y thing I can see in this whole picture is the bottom of his shoes. His face looks really strange. Again, the creators of the movie thought that Sonic only had one eye and it does not work in 3D, despite the fact that we've had, at least since 1998, tons and tons of footage of CG scenes and people making it work. So I think they just don't want to put the effort in to align the eyes and the face so that it looks right in every shot. Another thing that I found really interesting is that there was a leaked potential cast list. From the way I see this is kind of them just pitching names for people that they could reach out to see if they could get. I won't read through the whole thing. You can see here, though, Tom, Chris Pratt's at the top of their list. Sonic, Tom Holland is at the top of their list. And as you go through it, you actually see that they have some sharing both. So they were like, well, if we can get Bill Hader for Tom, we can get Will Forte for Sonic. And if we can't get Will Forte, we can do Bill Hader for Sonic, and we can do Jason Segel for Tom. The Tom choices, some of them are pretty good, but it's all very clearly what is the most well-known comedians right now? What is the, a hot young thing? What is a stupid stunt casting? What is someone that is our dream casting? Like Chris Pratt, he's not going to go into this movie. Paul Rudd, Chris Evans. The Sonic voices are really strange. You look through this, hey, Sonic's voice, I don't see Roger Craig Smith anywhere. I don't even see any past Sonic voice actors. No, we want Tom Holland, Josh Gad, Will Forte. God, that would be weird. Jim Parsons. Oh, I remember Sonic. Bazinga. Charlie Day. I could kind of see Charlie Day working, oddly enough. Paul Rudd. Like, I think if I had to pick one Tom and one Sonic here, I would probably go with Paul Rudd as Tom, and for Sonic, you know what, screw it, let's do Paul Rudd as Sonic. So Paul Rudd plays every role. Paul Rudd plays Eggman, he plays Robotnik. Eggman and Robotnik are going to be two different characters in my version of the movie now, both played by Paul Rudd. And the last bit of news here, this is weird too. So there is an official Sonic the Hedgehog movie Twitter page. It's at Sonic Movie. However, you know, when you pick your display name, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, and it is verified. And I don't think that's a smart idea because there's already a Sonic the Hedgehog that's verified for Sega. And so we have two verified Sonic the Hedgehog accounts. Isn't that kind of stepping on the toes of Sega's own official account? Like, they should have called this Sonic the Hedgehog Movie, or if that's too many characters, Sonic Movie. I don't know, it's stupid branding in my opinion. What I found strange is that when they opened their account, which was actually, they joined back in June 2018, they started retweeting weird memes. So on December 12th, you see here, they retweeted Sonic showing off his legs, which, like, I don't think is celebrating the movie, it's making fun of it. And then it's Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps kind of doing the leg shot. And then this really weird one of Sonic with long legs jumping. Again, an illustration of Sonic trying to do the thing. And then the weirdest one is like Sonic sneaking into a guy's room and going, gotta go fast. And so it's like you're embracing the shittiness of your design. Like, do you know half these people are making fun of you? And then they posted this thing, said, this shouldn't get any attention on the internet, right? Hashtag respect the legs. Hashtag Sonic movie. And it's, can't a guy work out? Be back next year. Love Sonic. And it's obvious that this was assembled from like elements that aren't not the actual characters, so that's kind of weird. Like, you're not even using the official model, you're using this one that's playing up the big bulky legs. Again, you got wrong shoes. He's wearing gloves here, even though we don't see him with gloves in the poster. So it's just like, this is called embracing the meme. You know, they're showing that, oh, we can take a joke. The problem is, though, that when you do that, it's not fixing anything. We're still going to get the shitty design. We're still going to get the shitty looking movie. And nothing here boosts my confidence. I don't know why they have a Sonic the Hedgehog movie page on Twitter that's basically doing what Aaron Webber does. I really hope Aaron Webber isn't running this. I don't think he would be. I think it's someone at Paramount. But it's clear that they're like, oh, get that snarky guy onto our social media account so that he can make posts and play with the fans. I've brought this up before in past Sega News Bits, but like in the Angry Video Game Nerd movie, there's this whole thing where they're intentionally making a shitty game so that people will make videos about it. And they're like, oh, you know, we can make E.T. 2, it's going to be intentionally terrible, and then people can play it and talk about how shitty it is. And I feel like that's what they're doing with this movie. It's looking kind of shitty, so let's embrace that shittiness. And I'm sure some people are like, that's kind of cool. No, god damn it, like, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and you can't get anything right. You can't use... Ian Flynn was defending the movie. I did not read the full article, but I was reading some of his tweets, so I'm not going to get too into it. But he was basically saying that all of Sonic's TV and movie appearances have never been accurate. There's always been imperfections, things that were wrong. I agree with that, but that shouldn't mean that this movie should be wrong. For me, like, when you're making a movie about a character as iconic as Sonic and you're calling it just Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie should boil it down to what makes us love the character. It should use the design that we know. It should use elements from the games, you know, maybe a very simplified version of the game universe where there's islands and Floating Island and Eggman. Like, you don't need to get into the whole Station Square and Chaos and like Empire City and Gun and Shadow's background and Silver. Like, you can have those characters, but you don't need to bring in all that baggage. And I just don't understand. Again, I don't understand why they're going this direction. Tom the Cop in Green Hills, in America. Sonic's being chased by the government. I bet Eggman, who's actually just called Robotnik in this movie, is working for the government. And he's... oh my god, this is gonna be so bad. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think this looks pretty cool? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to check us out on Patreon. We have a weekly show called Sega News Bits Extra, which covers the stories. I'm just talking like Sean Connery now. Oh my god. All right, this is enough. Bye.